What's up, guys? This is Dax with the Ask Dax show, where you send me questions and I answer them. Okay, so by the way, if you have a question, you haven't been featured on the channel in a video, make sure that you send it to my email address below, askdaxquestions@gmail.com. Make it specific, make it a short paragraph. Don't send me a novel, I won't even read it. But make it a short paragraph, make it straight to the point, specific. If I like it, I'll make a video answering your question. So let's get into the question of the week. This comes from one of our viewers, one of our artists. He says it has to do with stencils. An issue with stencils. So for my stencil, I've been mapping in the blacks and hard edges. But then when it comes to texture and gradient, I'm assuming that means shading in your portrait, I often get confused with all the little dots. My stencil has all the information, but it slows me down when I have to try to figure out if something is supposed to be texture, shading, or etc. Should I tattoo it if it's just a guide for, or should I tattoo it? Should I outline tattoo it? Or is it just a guide for a transition between tones? Okay, I'm getting what you're saying here. Tips on how to specifically lay out the roadmap would be appreciated. Okay, so you're having a problem with your stencil. You're having a problem reading your stencil because you got so much dots and crazy shit from listening to all these fucking people about how they make stencils. And you're confused. I get it. Okay, so there's a couple things that I would recommend doing. First off, I would recommend you draw every single portrait before you tattoo it. Because with realism, you're going to understand that stuff the more you build on it. And it starts with drawing. So if you draw this portrait, then when you got that crazy stencil, you start to recognize the shapes. But there's a couple different ways to recognize shapes separate from just drawing it. You got to make the stencil readable to you, not to what this artist in this video or this tutorial or this YouTube video thinks that you should do, and he shows you how he does it. That's because you have to realize is he's sharing that, which is great, but he's showing you what's readable to him. And you got to connect with your stencil. You should never put more than you can read, and never put too less to where you can't read it as well. And for a specific video, I have this in my realistic portrait system training course. You might want to take a look into that if you totally want like the whole meat and potatoes of how to overcome this struggle and learn how to tattoo great portraits. I also have a little YouTube video. It's like a 2-minute video that kind of breaks down things as well. But my best advice, man, is, you know, make the stencil readable to you. You know, don't make it too complicated. Maybe find a way to hard line it where you might need a hard line if that's what you want to do. By the way, there's not many hard lines in a portrait. But outline the hard lines in your portrait in the stencil, and then make dots or something, not too much, but dots and in the areas of shading, and make shapes out of those areas of dots, if that makes sense. So kind of like what you're already doing, but just don't overcomplicate it. That's what it sounds like you're doing. Maybe don't show every transition in the shade. Maybe just use the stencil as a guide and break it down into those shapes. Then when you get into that shape where you can see the dots, you can compare that to the reference, and you can work the transitions while you go, and you just break down shape by shape. Okay, it's going to be a lot more simple when you break down a portrait shape by shape, rather than look at this whole portrait and all these crazy lines. Okay, you want to break it down, you got to break it down and just do it piece by piece. Another thing is have your reference really, really close to the tattoo you're doing, and have it looking just like it. I like to have my tattoo right here and my reference right here, literally. I don't like to have my reference up here or slanted or color if I'm doing a black and gray portrait, or black and gray if I'm doing a color portrait. I like to make my reference as close to what I'm tattooing, which is as close in colors and close in reference like next to it as well, try that. If your reference is clear over here and your tattoo's clear over here and it's slanted, now you're forcing your mind and your brain and your eyes, and you're frustrating yourself to try to transfer that. Where if you put it just closer and you just tilt it a little bit to where your brain, your eyes can totally recognize all these shapes, it's going to be a lot easier to recognize those shapes, man. And that's how you solve your problem, is you got to learn how to recognize those shapes. And the closer you put them, it's going to help you recognize them. So I hope I answered your question correctly. I hope this is a valuable message, and I hope everybody watching this that's having this common struggle find some value out of this message. So if you have a message, make sure hit my email below, send me a specific, maybe 4-sentence paragraph, and if I like it, I'll answer it on the YouTube videos. Also check out the book The Savage Way and my training course, the Realistic Portrait System training course, and check out the tattooingportraits.com. I got free blog content as well. All my links are down below. Sometimes I do coaching calls as well if you want personal one-on-one coaching with me. But other than that, make sure you subscribe, share this with somebody who might need it, and comment some troll shit below if that's what you want to do. I don't know. Anyways, stay tuned for next week. I'll be back. We got some great questions next week. You don't want to miss it. Peace.